what I did. I was a salesperson in sales, and I was in marketing. Anybody tell me what a salesperson does?
They trying to, like, make a part of the business and get more money.
Okay. Anybody else? Huh? So, I'll read you a definition. A person employed to represent a business and to sell its products and services to customers in a store or customers that they visit. So you could be selling a product, which could be a computer, okay, or you could be selling a service, which would be, I will sell you a contract to fix your computer, which might be a service. You could be selling a product or service, and you either sell it in a store or you sell it to customers that you go out and visit. All the work that I did is where I went out to customers where I went out to visit. Okay. I also did marketing. Anybody know what marketing is? Back here.
Yeah, I know how to explain it.
Huh?
I said, I don't know how to explain it. I know what it is.
Do the best you can.
I forgot. I know what it is.
Anybody else? Go ahead. Say it again. Okay, kind of close. Let me read you what marketing is. Marketing is the process of communicating the value and communicating the price. How much is this thing going to cost me? Okay, of a product or service to a customer. Advertising the overall strategy and function of promoting a product or service, and distributing it through some sort of sales force. So marketing is, as a company, I got to figure out what price do I set so people will buy this product. Okay? How do I advertise it? How do I advertise it? Avaya, is that an advertisement? That commercial we just saw? That's advertising and promotion. Okay? You do it that way. You do it by giving people brochures on your product. So there are a number of ways you can do that. Okay? And the distribution of the product or service. There's a couple of ways you can distribute it. You can distribute it through a store, let's say a Best Buy. Take your product and I'll distribute it through a store. Your product may or may not fit that model. Or you can distribute it through a sales force. I've hired a bunch of salespeople and I want them to go out and visit customers and have them sell this particular product or service. Well, I got a job with Standard Register, and what I did was I designed and sold business forms. At that time, they were primarily selling business forms to major companies and to military bases. And I did that for about 2 years. I went with Standard Register rather than take the social service job because at that time they probably paid about $5,000 more than they did as a social worker. So I didn't know anything about sales, but I did need the money. And the thing that was good is that at Standard Register they trained you. Most of all the jobs that you take where you're looking for a career, they will train you. So you need to be ready for any training that they're going to put forth. And the training that I got was in something called Xerox selling skills. Xerox at the time, which was the second company I worked for, was actually selling a sales package to other companies in order to train their people how to sell. So I did that training, got the job, trained there, and was successful for about 2 years. Now, let me just make a distinction here. What's the difference between a job and a career?
A career is long-term job.
Okay, goes down. All right. Anybody else? Something. If you get a job, like I said, it could be short-term. The job is for doing a particular task. That's it. Excuse me. A career would be you've got it. They've given you a particular job, but that job can lead to a career moving up the ladder. Okay? The other difference I like to think of it as is if somebody offers you a job, they're going to say, we're going to pay you $20 an hour. Right? you're gonna get a career, they're gonna say, we're gonna pay you $20,000 a year. So you're not getting paid by the hour if you're getting into a career type of job. You're getting a salary. Now, the difference is you get paid by the hour, they're gonna ask you to work so many hours, and they'll pay you for any extra hours. If you get a job in a career, you're gonna get paid a particular salary, and you may work longer hours, you may make shorter hours. But you'll get a salary job. And that's what I had when I was a standard register. Any questions? Yeah. Take a look at your sheets there if you have a question. Xerox Corporation, AT&T phone network that exists, who invented, helped invent internet protocol that exists throughout the country. That's Bell Laboratories, one of the premier laboratories in the country. Well, headhunters are people that are typically in the business of searching for people who are looking for jobs. And they're looking to place people in different jobs, different businesses, and they get paid for placing people in the businesses. So large corporations will go out and hire a headhunting company and say, look, I need these people, these kind of people, these kind of skills. Can you go out and find some for me? Okay. I was approached by a headhunter to take a look at AT&T. Okay. At this time, AT&T, they have more scientists to do this in the future. So when I'm looking at my career and who I want to be with going forward, AT&T looked pretty good. So I went and I interviewed with AT&T. Now the nice thing about this was AT&T was regular. Xerox selling Xerox selling skills. Okay. When I went to Xerox, I took it again, right? When I went to AT&T, no. Guess what they wanted? That's what they bought. They bought Xerox selling skills.
Oh.
And they wanted Xerox selling skills to be taught to all their salespeople. Well, when they looked at my resume, what did they see?
Xerox selling.
I was trained.
Oh.
Ready to go.
There you go.
Okay. So I got the job like that.
Gotta make it
I
interesting.
worked in the training division developing courses. And we were building a training center in Denver, Colorado.
Denver.
I literally lived in Denver, Colorado in an effort to help get that training center up and running. So in terms of travel, for the first 3 months of the job, I lived in Denver. I literally went from New Jersey and was in Denver for 3 months as soon as I got the job. So that was part of my experience traveling. Once we got the training center up, and I had this job as a training manager, I had to help train the people around the country. So in terms of travel, I probably traveled 85 to 90% of the time. I lived in New Jersey, but I didn't live in New Jersey. I was all over the country. Every week, I flew out somewhere, and I'd come home on the weekends. So I was constantly on the move. That was my job. I loved it. It was great. I had a good time doing it. But I had to think about my career.
His
Going
career.
forward, and I said to myself, what's the next step? And the next step for me was a sales manager makes a lot of money.
Gotta make it interesting.
And the place where they make the most money is New York City.
New York.
New York, New York. So what I decided was to position. Huh?
How long did it take you to go over this? Yeah, about that.
It was over a 32-year period. When I said 32 years, I spent 3 years at Standard Register, 10 years at Xerox, and 20 years at Now, when I was at Avaya, when I first went, it was AT&T. It was spun off and broken up, and it became Lucent Technologies. So I became Lucent Technologies. Lucent Technologies spun off and created Avaya. So I became Avaya. So I was with kind of the same company, but it spun off and became 3 different separate companies. Okay? 3 individually separate companies. For example, Avaya, which was a public company up until last year, was bought out by some equity managers. Now they're owned by 2 or 3 private investors. And they're not public anymore. So those are the things you have to watch when you're in a particular company. You've got to know ahead of the game what might be taking place. Don't have blinders on, your eyes open wide.
Did the job, did they make good money?
Jobs make good money. I'll put it this way. The first job at Standard Register, I was making $10,000, $10,000, $15,000 a year, Standard Register. When I was finishing up at Avaya, I was making $200,000. A lot of that has to do with the fact that, money, costs rise, money goes up, but that's what I was making, $200,000. That'll get you some food. Anybody else?
I'm once a month, though. And, it's something different.
Okay.
If anything happens, I'm the engineer. No more.
You're the engineer? Okay. You taking the right course this year?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Like next year.
Next year. Familiar with the STEM program?
I didn't tell them about it. No.
Science, technology, engineering, and math?
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Science.
That will get you to be an engineer, for sure. Stay on that track. Basically. Okay. You can, you might be looking at the academic field or something like that. College. Stick with it. Do your research. I don't know a lot about that, but do your research and find out, where you get those opportunities. Yeah. Computer engineering. Okay. That's a good one. Again, STEM program. Okay, I have a young fellow that I mentored from the 9th grade all the way through high school, and he went to Johnson C. Smith on the STEM program. He wanted to be a computer engineer. You say your dad told you about? He works at Johnson C. Smith? Great. Okay, yeah.
Oh, my God.
You gonna be a rapper? You're a rapper now?
Let's hear some.
Clean.
Clean.
You want a clean
Clean.
But then, when I grow up, if I'm around a rapper, then
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Nobody.
think about what you might want to be. Rapper's fine if you have the talent, okay? But let me just say this. Think about the number of rappers out there and how good you have to be. It's just like being an athlete. Okay, I want to be a pro ball player, okay? Then I have to think about, when I was in high school, I mean, I made all everything. When I got to college, everybody there made all everything. And they were just as good or better than I was. Okay, then you move on to big time, the pro. So it's just, the numbers just expand, or they actually get smaller as you go up, as to who's going to make it in that particular field. So make sure you pick a good field. If you're not going to be a rapper, have a secondary occupation that you're looking at. You might want to get into music. Yes? Oh, that's great. There are a number of schools, I can't go into them now, where you go to school for that. You can, I think you can even get some STEM accommodates those kind of studies too. I'm going to check that out when you get to hospital, when you get to high school. The other thing is, think about what you want to do for people my age. We really want to see it. We're going to need some help. Okay? there's a lot of people my age who are retiring. We're the largest group, baby boomers, that are out here.
60.
Okay. So probably between 50s and 60s. From you were born in 1946 to 1960, you're a baby boomer. Okay. Who else?
My main occupation is mostly musical arts. Yeah, like, if I don't make that, then I guess I'll be psychologist or doctor.
Okay. Music and art is great. I was a music minor when I was in college, and I actually sang in the Wichita State Choir. I played the trumpet when I was in high school. It helps you. So stick with that. If you don't make psychology, I can tell you right now, if you're going to get into psychology, you're going to need a PhD. Okay. My son is the president of Lone Star College out in Texas, and he's a psychology major. He has 2 PhDs. So you're going to need at least a PhD in psychology.
But if that don't work out, I thought of being an entrepreneur, like a shoe business.
That's good. That's good.
What did you say, Joe?
He wants to be in the NBA. If that doesn't work out, he wants to be in the shoe business. Okay. I'm not sure what part of the shoe business you want to be in, but you need to. What?
Like I already had it set up though. Like it's like this shoe store I'm gonna have called Heat, and it's like sell Jordans and Nikes and stuff.
Okay.
It'll be like in the outlet mall, just in malls basically.
Okay. You need to keep an eye on people who are doing it now and think about what you can do different and better. Okay. Just enough for all of you when you go to school or work during the summer, if you know there's something that you want to do, if there is a summer job out there that is similar to what you want to do, get the job. They call it an intern, being an intern. Okay. One of the things, give you an example of being an intern. My daughter, when she was in college, she was an intern for Pfizer pharmaceutical company for 2 years, and she made in the summer when she was out of school for 3 months, she made $10,000 as an intern. When the day after she graduated from Rutgers University, they offered her a job because they'd already trained her. She'd already been there. They weren't going to let her go. She had a job. The best way to get a job is to be an intern in a particular field that you're doing during your college years.
My sister in her internship right now.
She is?
Yeah.
Who is she with?
I don't know.
Okay. She'll
I just
probably
know she getting her master's right now.
Oh, great. Great. She'll get a job. Yeah. She'll do well. Yeah. Hmm? You want to own your own clothing line? Okay. That's a good area to be in. You got to keep up with the style, know what people are looking for, understand the age group that you're going to be looking to sell to. Okay, so you know what kind, how to price, what type of promotional things you need to do. Okay. Old guy like me is not going to be looking for the same clothes that a 20-year-old looking for. So you understand how to pull all that together. Okay. Look at who's selling clothes now. How they doing?
I want to go to the NBA, but if I don't make it, I want to own my own business.
Okay.
And I don't know what type of business.
Okay. You have time. You know, you have time to think about what type of business you're going to do. Think about what some of your skills are right now. What do you do well? And that might help you think about what kind of business you're going to do. What you want to do. Okay. Any other questions?
Designer.
Want to be a designer?
No, I'm weapons designer.
Say what?
Like weapons designer.
A weapons?
Kill people.
Weapons design? Oh, okay. There's always an opportunity, fortunately or unfortunately, for weapons design. You can get, there are a lot of companies that do that. Boeing is probably one of the biggest ones out there that do that. What you want to do is, again, that's in the technology field. So you want to take courses in the technology field, STEM. You almost have to be an engineer to be in that. And then once you take those courses, go to college for that, take STEM courses, get an internship with those companies who do weapons designs. Do research on what companies do that. But STEM, you're gonna get that from the STEM program. It's just about having an engineer to do that. Anybody else?
No.
Good, okay. Thank you.
All right, class, go ahead and give Mr. Lane a round of applause for being here with us today.